Okay, kids, and welcome back to Mr. Cook's video demonstrations. All right, that's enough. Okay, next step in the shape project is you can see here we have all of the groups made. And inside of each group, if you open the group, there is a layer called the basic shape or basic. But anyway, it's the base layer. The only thing you're going to do in the next step is you're going to, one by one, put a shape on each of these base layers or basic shape layers. One shape traced with the polygonal lasso tool. And you can start wherever you want. I am going to start with the left front buildings. Left front buildings. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Are you ready, Mr. Cook? Yes, Mr. Cook, I'm ready. Thank you. Where am I? Front. I can see through time. Left front. Open. Go to the layer and press L. This is so easy. You're going to laugh. Right click, polygonal lasso tool. Now, here's a little trick when you're on the polygonal lasso tool. There are 4 little boxes up here. Choose the second one. Add to selection. That means that I can click and make a selection, and then click and make a selection, and then click and make a million selections, and the first one doesn't go away. Okay? So, I'm going to back away from the microphone a little bit because I think I'm talking too loud. Control D to deselect. If you leave it on the first one, you make a selection and then you go try to make another selection and the first one disappears. Anyway, you get the idea. I will talk about the third option up here, which is subtract from selection, which is actually pretty awesome. You know what? I'll just talk about it now. All right, so here's, excuse me. So watch this. I'm going to do this shape. Click, 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 click. By the way, the selections can be very loose and sloppy. You are making simple geometric shapes. There it is. I'll zoom in and show you the selection that I made. You can see we've got marching ants going all the way around here. Now I want to subtract from that selection, so I choose the third option here. Click, and I'm going to subtract out this area. Why didn't he show us this earlier? Because I didn't want to. There it is. It subtracted that out. So that's a really helpful tool to learn when making your selections. And then go back to add. Okay, here we go. Eyedropper I. The eyedropper is also one of your friends that you're going to hang out with while finishing this project. The eyedropper tool is right here. If you right click, there are a whole bunch of other tools that I've never used before. The top one is the eyedropper, and the eyedropper, anywhere you click in your project, puts the color right here. So if I'm on black and I click in the sky and it chooses that exact color. Now, the goal is not to match, pay attention, and drill this into your brain. You are not creating a realistic representation of your composition. You are creating an abstract, simplified version using whatever colors you want. Okay? Does not have to match the colors of your project. I'm assuming most of you, if the sky's blue, you want to use blue for the sky. That's fine. Grass is green, fine. But buildings, like, why do I need to pick all the exact same colors? So we're going to talk a lot about color and how color will influence the way the viewer sees your project, but not in this demonstration. So how do I fill? Now, remember, this is also important. You need to pay attention before you fill the selection, what layer you're on. I am on the basic shape layer in left front building, so I'm on the right. Actually, you know what? That's not a basic shape, so I'm going to deselect, and I'm going to show you. I digressed. That was a detail. We're not doing details. Excuse me. Basic shape for front, left. Wait, left front. So I guess this one is the left front. Okay, here we go. Watch this. Click. click, 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 spacebar. Just gonna click right over this. Click. You see that I'm overlapping these posts? That's fine. Why is he doing that? Click. Look at that big shape. I for the eyedropper. What the heck? I'll choose the blue. See what happens. Shift and the F5 key. Make sure it is on foreground color. Make sure it is not on content aware. It's got to be on foreground color. This blue is the foreground color, and that's what you want. Fill, and you can see, watch. It just filled it. Look at the layer. It filled it. Control D, deselect. If you want to see what your project looks like, you just hide the reference photo. This is your project right now. Now, moving on. Every single layer, every single fill in your entire project needs to have a blending mode and or an opacity reduction. Right now, there is no blending mode because it's on normal. The opacity is here. It's on 100%. Don't mess with the fill. So two things. Try blending mode. Click on normal, go all the way down to luminosity and click on it once, and then just use your arrow keys. Don't be so concerned about making the perfect color now, especially in the first stage, because it just doesn't matter. You can change colors later a million times. It's so easy to change color because you have separate layers for everything. You can just go back in and change a color that you don't like. All right, that's normal. That's not good. It can't be on normal. I'm going to choose one that I thought was okay. I mean, that I don't want. I'm going to choose one that I thought was okay. That's kind of gray and muddy. Barf. Puke. Yes. I liked linear light, but hey, check this out. Opacity reduction. Now, I could leave it there. Or I could just dumb it down a little bit for now. 78%. Press enter. Linear light, 78%. And the third thing that you want to do is you want to click. Now you can close the group because I put one layer on the basic shape, close the group, and just make sure that your group, right here it says pass through. You see that? Pass through means the groups above are going to be able to pass through. So don't put your group on a blending mode. Leave your groups on pass through. Open it up. Layers have blending modes. Groups are on pass through. Another thing you could do if you don't like any of the blending modes is you can very easily change the color. If you didn't like that first color you chose, go back up, choose normal, press enter. That's the color I chose. Now to change the color, watch very carefully. All right, hover the cursor inside of the layer thumbnail. This over here is the layer. It is not the layer thumbnail. This little box, this little transparent box is the layer thumbnail. Hover your cursor there, find the control key on your keyboard and control left click. Watch what happens. Control left click the thumbnail. Boom, it just selected it. It'll select everything on that layer if you control left click the thumbnail. Now I can go back here and click this. Say I want a lighter version or just a little bit more of a blue instead of a blue-green. Press OK. Shift F5 again. Enter. There, slightly change it. Deselect. I like that luminosity, so I'm going to go back down to there. Where is it? Jeez. Up, down. No, it wasn't luminosity. It was linear light. That's what I liked. Yeah, linear light. Okay. Close the group. I'm finished. I put it in a shape. I'm done. Now I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to do, is there one for the sidewalk? Street. All right. just going to hold off on that real quick. No, I'm going to do the rest of the left buildings. Open up the group, go to the basic shape layer, press L for the polygonal lasso. Click, click. I'm not even zoomed in. I'm barely zoomed in. Click, click, click. Oh, wait, I already did that in the last one. So I'm just going to go click, 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 click. I for the eyedropper. Just to prove my point, I'm going to select a color out here. Why not? Select that pink way over here. Shift F5, foreground color, enter. There it is. You can see it filled in there. Hide this. This is what it looks like. Boom, blending mode, bang, done. I like that. No, I don't. It doesn't really matter. That's just too dark. Try to choose ones that don't produce dark black crystals. Yeah, that's going to work. Once again, linear light. Looks like that's a winner for me. Do you notice how this is overlapping this? That doesn't matter. Don't do this. Oh, this one ends here, and the next one has to start exactly right up against it. No. Shapes overlap shapes as much as you want in this project. Don't try to like go around the shape and make it perfect. Overlap everything. To prove my point yet again, I'm going to go to my sky group. Sky, sky, sky. Sky. Basic shape. L, lasso. Watch this. This one I'm actually going to do a sloppy selection with the first one called lasso tool. Let's just I'm just gonna go over the whole thing. Sky. I for the eyedropper. Click. Yeah, that's nice. No, that's nice. No, you're nice. Shift F5. Enter. Shut up. Luminosity. Talking to that other voice inside my head. Don't tell anyone, but I have a few different people living inside me. It's not nice. Shut up. Don't tell them that. Hard light. Basic shape. Close the shh. I told you to be quiet. They can hear you. What? But it's overlapping this. Don't show them that. And what are we going to do here? We're just going to leave it. And now we're going to go to the vintage van, go to the basic shape, and press L for the lasso. And this is the last one we're going to do. We're going to show them this, and then we're going to let them work. Shh. Quit talking so loud. Click, click, license plate. Oh, I don't care about the selection. You should care about the selection. The kids are going to care. Don't tell the kids. What are we doing after school today? We're going to go get some ice cream and go to the farm. Do they have donkeys at the farm? They have donkeys. What do donkeys eat? Shut up. Who's there? Someone's here. Oh, it's Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Mr. Cook. Oh, one of my personalities is a clown. Don't be afraid, kids. They all float. Want a balloon? Look at that. Basic shape. But that doesn't make any sense. Don't tell them that. I for the eyedropper. Click. There's a lot of blue. I'm just going to prove my point again. Now you're green. Shift. And the F5 key. Okay. Go to the reference. Photo layer. Deselect. Blending mode. Click. Oh, too much. Too dark. Too gray. Barf. Ah. Ooh. Ugh. I'm scared. Don't be scared, Billy. Join us. Join us, Billy. Barrens. Hey kids. Okay. Basic shape. Your project is going to look like a big blob, just a blob. This doesn't look like anything, Mr. Cook. I don't like the way my project looks. Your project isn't really going to look like anything nearly at the. That didn't make grammatically. I just spit over my sentence. Project at the beginning and for the first several probably hours of doing these steps is not going to look like anything in these because you're just putting one layer on a basic shape. It's going to be a blob. It's later on when you go back. How many layers do you think we'll end up putting in the vintage van to make it look like the vintage van? That's the delicate thing. You don't want to do too many, okay? And you don't want to do too few. Just enough so that we can see, oh, that's one of those Volkswagen vintage vans and it's got a couple of kayaks on it. Okay. That's future videos, but for now you're just putting one layer. You're going to go check. Oh, pass through. Good job. You were listening. Pass through. Left front building group. Pass through. Pass through. Do I have a blending mode? You don't have to have a blending mode and an opacity. It's and or. You can do both. You just need to have at least one. I'm going to take, no, I like that at 100, so I'm just going to leave that. And then make sure you're saving this properly. It's your first name. My name is Ben. Shape Project PSD. Shh. Join us down at the Barrens.